Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. I've got a lot of tabs open, but I'm going to get through them quickly and get to the fluff, which I'm very excited about today. This is, you probably know about this. This is the release that came out from SBI Holdings on August 30th, and it's the 4 new banks that are coming to invest and participate with MoneyTap. This is the application that's part of a financial infrastructure for the cashless promotion. Now, it's great. These announcements are important because this isn't just a bank that's signing up. They have skin in the game, and it's going to roll out internationally for cross borders after it gets off the ground domestically. So it is operational right now, and it is out of the beta test mode. But there is something very, very funny about this release, and I just couldn't help but share that with you. So it says that 4 new banks are participating. We know that one of the banks is Awa Bank, and the second one is North Japan Bank, but the third bank is known as the Third Bank, and the fourth bank is known as the One Other Bank. So it's so strange. Yeah, I can't figure it out. You know, people work hard on the timing of press releases, and they also, if you've ever done a release, they get written and rewritten until they're just perfect. And the fact that the 2 names of those banks are not in this release just has me shaking my head and scratching my head, and I'm wondering, what is this? I just don't know. I just can't speculate, except maybe it's a big bank that didn't feel they were ready yet to be identified. I just can't tell you. I will, though, pay attention to the full list when it comes out, and I'll see what 2 banks are appearing on the full list that are not in this press release. So strange. Okay, PNC. Well, this is a big deal, I think, because it's a first, and always a first is kind of special. This is the first U.S. bank that is going to go live with the RippleNet technology. And the PNC Bank was founded in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania back in 1845. It operates in 19 states. It's the 9th largest bank in the U.S. by assets. It's the 5th largest by the number of branches, the 6th largest by deposits, and the 4th largest by ATMs. And in 2014, they expanded into Canada. And 2 days ago, I found that the PNC Bank Canada branch uploaded a new PDF. And it's quite interesting that when they were talking about what products and services set PNC apart from the pack and how will they stay ahead of their competitors, well, they say that they are a leader in fintech and they have a strategic relationship with RippleNet. So it's nice to see that the branches in Canada are also citing the strategic relationship with Ripple. Okay, let's jump over to the liquidity index. This is the Bitrue liquidity index in the Mexican corridor where MoneyGram went live. And you can see this is at the point they went live. And we have seen this beautiful rise in volume with a little bit of a break. Oh, what was this? From 8.1 to about 8.25, but we're back up on a steady climb again. This is the 2nd of September, so the day is not completely it's not completely over yet. So that's why this particular candle has some more room that it'll rise. But I'm going to keep an eye on this because I think that it is really encouraging to see the volume grow like this. All right, so let's take a look at this little bit of an interest article from Japan. This is DMM. They are a fairly big exchange, and they were interviewed and asked, why did they add XRP in July? And they said it's because of the investment asset class. So with the activation of the securities market, and it looks like they're going to IPO. They felt it was a brand that they needed to add to their lineups so it fits with the society, the economy, and the industry to create a mechanism that is tradable. So XRP is also ranked the top for spot trading in Japan, and it also, among those that are traded for leverage trading, it is also #1. So it makes sense that they added it, and I'm really glad to see that they did. Okay, this is a new article that was written on Friday by Marcus Treacher, and he got published in the Global Banking and Finance Review. It's really good because it's talking about the two clients that use XRP, Euro Exim Bank and Cambridge Global Payments. It's really focused on the SMEs because XRP allows them to compete with larger players. So while the traditional cross-border bank model was created really for large volume payments, this new approach that XRP and Ripple provide is tailored to the needs of SMEs, and they can process those small value payments. 67% of SMEs suffer from poor liquidity, especially when their capital is tied up in those nostro vostro correspondent banking schemes. And cash flow is so important to these small businesses that this is really truly allowing them to not only stay afloat and compete against the larger banks, but it also allows them to grow their business. One interesting thing in this article I learned that I didn't know is Euro Exim Bank, which is in the UK, they are using the blockchain with XRP, and they started embedding a complex trade within the blockchain messages. Yeah, I didn't know that they were doing that. So that might be something to research a little bit more. Okay, if you're into sentiment like I am, this will be of interest to you. This is coming from Coin Tokyo. And according to the index data of the Chinese search engine Baidu, so Baidu is like the Google of China, the average daily Bitcoin search index for the past 7 days was 30,840, which is 30% higher than last year and 20% higher than last week. So it could be an indication that there is going to be a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin from China. All right, wow. Well, I can tell you, there is a lot going on in the crypto space, especially when it comes to making wealth beyond buy, hold, and trade. Now we are seeing the terms interest, borrowing, and lending. Yeah, these are not small numbers either, or small players. These are really big players, like, for example, Genesis Global Capital. They're an arm of Genesis Capital. They hit a record growth in crypto loans this July, as reported for their Q2, 2.3 billion since they launched. It's just unbelievable. Their parent company is Digital Currency Group. It's that VC in New York that invested in Ripple, Circle, and Coinbase. So we're seeing solid growth of these fixed income instruments as well as the interest-bearing accounts. And what I have here is the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office application that Walmart took out. Walmart, in this 0015 portion of their patent, where they are going to create a digital currency, which looks like it's going to be pegged to the US dollar, and it too is going to have an interest program attached to it. So, wow, here's another example. Mike Novogratz, he lets clients deposit Bitcoin or Ethereum that are then lent out to crypto investors for arbitrage, short selling, or market making trades at rates ranging as high as 12% on his platform of BlockFi. And then you've got, of course, Coinbase and Nexo. They have introduced interest return of interest to their customers that compounds daily while funds are protected by custodial insurance. And of course, who could have not missed this one? This is Binance. Just a few days ago, they are guaranteeing returns as high as 15% to their customers, and they are customers who lend their cryptocurrencies. They just went live with this, on the 28th of August. So now it becomes a platform that you can trade, do custody, and earn passive income all in one place. I think you can get that highest return with a combination of their native token. And so I want to just point out that we really need to see how this space is maturing and how these financial products and schemes are being layered into the growth of cryptocurrency. It is just really developing so fast. Today, Ferdy wrote an article. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below, and he talks about the Bitrue PowerPiggy program. And the reason why I want to highlight this is because this Singapore-based exchange has really embraced XRP, and they launched their native platform token, BTR. So if you combine their BTR with a series of different digital assets that they make available to receive interest on, that is 100% insured, up to $1 million per customer. This is really something I personally want to research even more and report on, because I can see this is where the space is going, and it's going in a big, big way. And I just want to stay on top of the developments personally, and I will share that with you. Okay, let's move to the fluff. So who you're seeing here is Hayao Miyazaki. He's famous. He's a maker, a creator, a director, a producer of anime in Japan. And I think you might know him. He is the person who established the Ghibli studio, and that is anime that created many wonderful pieces, but one in particular is from 1984. It was a masterpiece that is now going to become a full production kabuki play. Yeah, this is when he was receiving his academy for the work he did on Spirited Away, if that is something that sounds familiar to you. So what he is allowing the kabuki theater to do is use his piece of work that is an original story. It was originally a manga. The story was released in 1982, and it's frequently, ranked as one of the greatest anime films ever made. And the collaboration is promising to be grand. So the story, it takes place 1,000 years after an apocalyptic war destroyed civilization. And unfortunately, it created a toxic jungle. But there is a princess of the Valley of the Wind who is all about the rebuilding, because they found a non-toxic tree sprout. And this is a positive story, so it's not too dark. And when they create this in the form of a live stage play called kabuki, kabuki in Japan is like the combination of Shakespeare and opera. And its stories are sometimes difficult, but always very exciting. And they've been passed on for hundreds of years. This is the Kabukiza Theater in Ginza. It's really a wonderful building, and the inside is even more spectacular. It went under a recent renovation. It's really, really lovely inside. But the plays are colorful, they're dramatic, and don't worry, if you ever do go, they have an English translation. And the stories that are so classic many of them coming from the 1600s or the 1700s. When you go, don't be surprised that you see a stage that is really vibrant and colorful, but all of the roles, even the women's roles, are played by men. So this is, yeah, it's unique, it's beautiful, the music is fantastic. I love kabuki, and I know you will. I think anybody who has experienced it has one of those wow experiences. So there is kabuki and there is super kabuki. The production that's going to use Miyazaki's work is going to be super kabuki. This type of theater production takes place at a different venue, very close to Kabukiza. It's just a few blocks away, and it's in Shimbashi, and this is the inside of that theater. It too is very, very, very nice, but it's going to be quite, I think, entertaining. And one of the leads is Shichinosuke Nakamura. You might recognize him. He played across from Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. And it is so fun to see Super Kabuki because, well, it uses a variety of techniques. Projection mapping, wired flight, sometimes water. Here's some water. Sometimes even fire. You'll have people that are wired going across the stage and the audience with lots of different effects that are made to surprise you. And it's almost like a Cirque du Soleil, kind of, sort of. But they even use the virtual Vocaloid, Hatsune Miku. She is a very famous Vocaloid, and they did a production with her. It's just really outside the box, I'm telling you. It really is outside the box. This is something that if you are able to come in December, you're going to see this production. I just have a little bit of showing of the Vocaloid because it's crazy, right? It's you know, yeah, it's elaborate, and the two worlds of old and new somehow come together. Somehow, you know, you just can't imagine that the century-old traditional theater can blend with cutting-edge technology and pop culture. It somehow successfully intersects. So a multitude of layers are revealed, and a Pandora's box explodes with contradictions. So do come and see Super Kabuki when you are in Tokyo. I'm positive you'll love it. And it's not that expensive. There are tickets that start at $30 on this production of Miyazaki's, and it goes up to $180. So it's all depending on where you sit, of course. But the venue, as you saw, is not too big. So anyway, do take care.